Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to our European Commission's midday briefing. Of course, today a lot of the media attention is on Oslo. You certainly were following the news. I hope you have already seen the reaction of President Barroso to the award of the Nobel Peace Prize to the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. I will just recall that the President has extended his sincere congratulations to the organization. The President believes that this award is a recognition of the efforts of the organization in curbing the use of chemical weapons, an effort in which, of course, the European Union is ready to assist. And the President has already recalled that, in fact, this effort is a collective responsibility of the entire international community. I refer you therefore to the President's statement, which I think you can already find in our databases. The President in his statement has referred in particular to the situation in Syria, and there is a number of aspects on which the European Union cooperates with the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. I would like to give the floor to Michael so he can go into the details of what is exactly this cooperation about. Michael, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alejandro. Yes, just so happens that in fact this very day we have signed a contract. A short while ago the OPCW requested from us with the UN for 10 armoured cars to be provided in order to help the inspectors and the technicians from the OPCW with their work in Syria. Now, we have signed the contract today worth around about €2 million to provide those 10 armoured cars. 8 of them will be arriving next week in Beirut for further shipment to Syria, and then the last 2 will be arriving shortly after that. So that's a piece of good news in terms of our assistance to this very important mission against chemical weapons in Syria. We've also been able to provide detailed maps to the UN and to OPCW. We will continue to do that. And as you're probably aware, we've also set up an information hub within our services which will act as a way, as a conduit for requests coming from the OPCW and from the UN to be passed on to our member states so that there's the maximum efficiency in terms of meeting the requests from the different organisations. So that's a bit of good news. I should also add that the 10 armoured cars that are going to be provided as a result of today's decision add to 25 armoured vehicles that were provided with EU financing again earlier this year when the UN Observer Mission originally went into Syria. So that takes our total contribution in terms of armoured cars up to 25, but as I say, up to 35. But as I say, there's 10 new armoured vehicles that will be provided as a result of the decision taken today. And of course, this fits in with our general approach to doing everything we can to bring a solution in Syria, and continuing to insist that there needs to be a Geneva II peace conference as soon as possible to bring the fighting to an end.
Thanks a lot, Michael. Before I go into other subjects, I will perhaps check whether there are any questions for Michael. Yes, please go ahead.
Michael, can you give us an overview of how much financing in terms of money has gone for the mission in Syria? And also, if you can let us know if member states are debating also sending technical experts to participate in the destruction activities on the ground. Thank you.
I don't know what you're looking for in terms of the financing exactly. Certainly in terms of the provision of armoured vehicles, I'm talking about 2 million today, and it was 5 million earlier in the year for the previous delivery of armoured vehicles. I'll have to come back to you whether there's any more that I can point out. Obviously, this adds to the huge contribution we've made on humanitarian aid in Syria and surrounding countries as well. And in terms of your second question, we haven't had a direct request for EU experts to join with the party of people from OPCW who are handling the issue on the ground. But our member states continue to discuss this issue on a weekly basis, how we're going to help in the PSC, and those conversations will continue, of course.
Thanks a lot, Michael. Please go ahead.
voudrais savoir si vous considérez que l'octroi de ces prix est un encouragement aux solutions politiques et un appel à laisser les solutions militaires à côté.
Oui, bien sûr, le fait qu'une organisation qui aide le processus en Syrie a gagné ce prix ce matin, c'est bien sûr un signe très positif. Et on espère que le progrès que nous avons fait en ce qui concerne les armes chimiques et l'accord entre la Russie et les États-Unis et la communauté internationale dans le Conseil de sécurité, on espère que ça va mener à un accord plus général pour la paix en Syrie. C'est une bonne signe qu'il y avait enfin une résolution adoptée par le Conseil de sécurité et tout ce que peut aider le processus politique pour encourager les partis à venir à Genève pour la conférence pour la paix, c'est une bonne chose.
Merci beaucoup, Michael.